Hello, my name is Oliver Glanz. I'm a professor of Old Testament at Andrews University. In this video tutorial I would like to show you how to create some default startup behaviors, how to change the default fonts so that actually improved smooth text export procedure can be carried out. So let's go here to our virtual machine with accordance already fired up. When you want to open accordance, it will open in a very particular way, and that particular way is being determined by the preferences that you have chosen. So when you go to Edit, Preferences, and there General, you see under General this category Startup. And here you see a couple of options. For example, one option is last session. So if you choose last session, it means that the session that you have used in the previous setup before you shut down accordance is going to resumed when you start up accordance again. So now you see here the Septuagint on the left and the VHS on the right. I close accordance. Now when I open it again, it starts with exactly these two texts. This is because our preferences chose last session. Now I can also choose a default session. So let's say we are going to open our workspace for Genesis 1. Here it is. So I could say that this is my default setup. I go to Edit, I go to Preference, and I say I choose my default session and then set the session that I'm having right now as default by clicking on the Set Default Session. Yes. Okay. So now this is my default session. So even if I change things, for example, I only want to see the Hebrew text here. If I close accordance now and fire it up again, it will open not just with my Hebrew text that I had open in the last session, but it opens all the three texts that I have defined as being the default session. So this is how you change the startup behavior in accordance. That's quite handy because if you usually have a default setup, you actually want to resume the default session and not always have to tweak and change and improve the last session that you were working on. Okay, so this is with regard to changing the default startup behaviors. Now I want to have a look at the fonts we want to look at the text export options too. So for that purpose, let's open here a word processor. Let's move this here to the right, accordance to the left. I have two instances of accordance open. Okay, good. So, so I have here LibreOffice as a word processor. I could also have Microsoft Office or any other type of word processor opened here. And it always has been a problem to copy-paste text that are specifically coming from right to left text direction into a language that uses a left to right text direction. For example, this is sample text. And then if I would now copy paste the Hebrew text in here and then continue my writing, blah 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 blah, it often will change the whole behavior of your writing. If you paste the Hebrew text in here, suddenly your English letters are being written from right to left, and other formatting issues are going to trouble you. So in order to prevent you from these tiresome experiences, you have to change some defaults. Please go to Edit, there to Preference, and what you see here is Unicode display. Now in Unicode display, I think they usually have as default accordance, here accordance. I would say choose a Unicode font that is well supported. And Times New Roman is one of the best and most well supported Unicode fonts. So I really would suggest to take Times New Romans here. Then when you go to export, the export session, I would make sure that I click Unicode export and use as a default font Times New Roman. So that will prevent you from a lot of problems that you might otherwise have. Now, in order to allow that your text that you're seeing in accordance is actually looking like the text, identical to the text that you're going to export into your word processor, I suggest that you also choose Times New Roman as your text display font. So when you go here to Preferences, Edit Preferences, Text Display, you see what I did? I chose Times New Roman for the text that I'm going to display. Right. Okay. So now I can easily copy paste Hebrew and Greek text into any Word document. This is a text from Genesis 1 verse 1. Let's paste this right in here. Oh, that's 2. So, copy, paste, here it is, and I can just continue writing. And this is a text from the Greek. Genesis 1 verse 1. And I can continue writing. And this is the translation as it is found in the ESC. So this smooth way of copy pasting Hebrew, Greek text and writing English text is only possible if you really make those choices by going to Edit Preferences and choose as your export font Times New Roman or a good well-supported Unicode font. You could also use the SBL fonts for Hebrew and Greek, and make sure that the Unicode display is also set to Times New Roman. Okay, good. I hope you have now seen how to export texts without running into problems with fonts and font behavior. I hope this was helpful.